All
but
right,
I'm
Jordan.
excited.
Well, welcome. This is the Average Joe podcast. This will be day 28 of I'm doing 30 podcasts in 30 days
Wow.
for the month of December.
Props to you. That's a big goal.
Thank you, sir.
How's it
So
going?
good. It's been busy trying to record every day, and I mean, I guess December is just kind of a busy month, and work's been busy, but I'm making it happen. I
You
can
are.
I can see the finish line. I
You're
got
2
you.
days away.
Yeah, I'm doing one with some of my old study abroad roommates tomorrow virtually.
Wow.
And then really just got one episode left after that.
Okay.
And I might just do like a reflection, so that could be pretty easy. But
Very good.
been making it happen.
What
So
kicked that off? Why did you want to do 30 days?
dude, I don't know. I just had this idea in my head. Like I started this podcast in I think the end of July. And I was like, I kind of want to do something just bold, like 30 podcasts in 30 days. I just had this idea. I was like, I sometimes I get these ideas. I'm like, I just got to do them. So I was like, whatever.
Dude,
December's the month.
Props to you.
Yep.
A lot of people are thinkers and they never end up doing any action with it. So
I know, Nike.
Look at
Best
this.
slogan, man.
just
do it.
They had it
So
all
for
along.
context for anybody listening or
Are we going
watching,
right now?
yeah,
Okay.
oh, we're live. Jordan and I don't know each other
Just
at
met.
all.
Just met.
So James, who he actually is the most viewed guest on any podcast.
James Patrick is.
He did the 4th episode. It was so funny because I started this podcast. I did one with my brother, one with my friend Doug, and then one with a close family friend, this girl Maddie. And then James texted me like, "Dude, I'm a huge fan of the podcast. I'd love
that
to
guy's
come
incredible.
on." He is.
I mean, that's one of my day one brothers right there. And I mean, I would tell you from the beginning that his would be very viewed, and he's got a bunch to talk about. And he treats everybody the same. That's what I've noticed about him.
No, James
Like,
is great. So walk me through y'all's connection.
Okay, so 2nd grade, I believe. He'll have to correct me. He said he was going to be here. I don't know where he's at. but-
Yeah, the 2 ones I've done with James, he's required a fact checker. He's
Oh,
had
yeah?
my brother fact check his stuff.
Yeah, we
but
need a little
I
Jamie
guess he's in
over there.
Texas. I don't know. We
Uh,
miss you over here, James.
Yes, for sure. So we went to school together, elementary school, like 300 yards from here, Grassland Elementary School.
Yeah.
We were both kind of the deviants of the class, very hyper active, but
Do you have ADHD?
oh yeah.
Yeah, James.
Well, I grew up with it,
yeah.
and that was a big thing that like we can talk about later, just that journey and what it means to me, but thankful I'm not medicated for it anymore and kind of like figured out what ADHD is and
Dude,
how to
I have
use
so many
it.
thoughts on
you
that
know?
too. Yeah.
Were you ADHD as well?
No, I mean I have a lot of energy, but I don't think I've ever had trouble focusing. But
Yeah,
I have a
dude.
lot of thoughts about medicating kids and
Yeah.
young kids, and
I'd like to get into that.
yeah.
But yeah, our story was pretty simple. We kicked it off 2nd grade and just became best friends. And then he transferred out of our school because I don't know why. We'll have to ask him. It'd be nice to have him. But we'd remained friends. We'd go out to his ranch in the summers, and that was like the ultimate freedom experience. We're out riding horses on a 60,000.
Where's his ranch at?
It's in New Mexico and Colorado.
Oh,
So like
that's
right on
sick.
the border.
Yeah.
And that was awesome growing up. We were driving cars when we were like 10 probably out there on the back road. It was just freedom, man. And I
Yeah.
loved it. But yeah, we've always remained friends, even being in different schools for so long. And then more recently on like his business journey and stuff, I remember he called me once. I was out fishing on a pond. And he's like, "Dude, I think I have an idea for doing a business. Like, I want to start something." And we walked through it, and he ended up going with the dry
This is
cleaning
the
idea.
the dry cleaning business.
Yeah, I'm like, well, I mean, that's something that you probably can't replace unless we have different kinds of clothes in the future, you know. But
Yeah.
or
No,
fabrics.
he's
but
killing it.
yeah, and another guy. Just props to him for being a doer like yourself. I admire y'all because a lot of us are dreamers and just get caught up in that. But
Yeah. I mean, I got
It's
dreams
beautiful to
too,
see.
but I try to,
yeah, what
do
are
things.
those?
What are
Wait,
my
wait.
dreams?
Yeah, let's start. Let's go to the
I
beginning.
love it.
You're from here?
Flip the script a bit.
So
I was
we went to
born-
the same school in college, right?
Yes, go
Okay.
Vols.
Go Vols.
I was born in California,
Nice.
so I grew up in California. I moved in middle school, so
Okay.
like all of, I mean, most of my middle school was in the Nashville area, Franklin for high school,
Okay.
and then Tennessee for college. So,
Let's go, dude.
did you grow up? You were born in Tennessee.
Born and raised here.
Yep.
Been in the same house my whole life. Just like 3 miles from here. So
How
great
was your
spot to grow.
You're the same grade as James and my brother and everybody.
He's a grade below me, but
He's a grade
he
below.
got
Okay.
held back at some point when he transferred schools. But
Gotcha.
we're like a few months apart.
So when did you graduate from Knoxville?
25. So this past May.
What an experience, man. So you would have been a sophomore when we beat Alabama.
Mm-hmm.
Were you at the game?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
that was
Highlight of
great.
my life.
Oh dude, were you a senior?
Yeah. So my freshman year, my first game ever as a Tennessee student, we lost to Georgia State. That was our home opener. We
I remember
paid them
that.
to come play us and lost.
I remember that.
And then we lost to BYU, and it was just a horrible season. And then my senior
What
year,
a turnaround.
yeah, my senior year, we're pretty good. And then we beat LSU. We all went to New Orleans, Baton Rouge. That was an awesome trip. Like curb stomped LSU.
Yeah.
It was like 40 to, I don't even remember what it was, but we just
Yeah.
destroyed them. And then we had Alabama the next weekend. And that was, beating them at home.
You were there.
Super high scoring game. Oh, yeah.
I was on the field holding on to
Yep.
the goalpost.
I did not get to touch the goalpost, but I was on the field. There's girls like falling over the edge.
Insane. The
yeah,
whole
that was a
city
good
was
time.
burning down for a few hours there.
It was, yeah.
So what did you do after school? What did you start doing? What was the reason for doing that?
Good questions. So I graduated a semester early. I did some summer classes. I did some winter classes. And that second semester of my senior year, I stayed in Knoxville. I was kind of just I would do random stuff. I DJ'd at the Hill.
Let's go.
I would DJ there pretty frequently with
Man
another
of many
dude.
talents.
Yeah, the DJing's always been a fun little side hobby. But then my first job, real job, I guess, and still current job, I'm an investigator for Child Protective Services. So I'm a state of Tennessee employee, and I investigate severe child abuse and neglect.
Whoa. That's not a common profession. That's
No.
awesome though.
Yeah, I
That's
appreciate
a
it.
servant of
Yeah.
the community.
Yeah, so I'm
Wow.
doing a master's program right now too. It's called Human Factors and System Safety, and it's really about understanding complex systems, supporting people.
Yeah.
It's yeah, I got a few things going on.
Wow.
But
That's really cool.
I'll throw
man.
the question back at you. Since college, what have you been doing?
So the whole reason I was in college, I didn't think I was going to go to college, but the whole reason was to come out and help my family business grow and potentially franchise it.
What is their business?
It's logistics, and a few curveballs hit in that process. When I'm a senior in college, my dad got diagnosed with cancer, and that was just like a freaking life-altering event, and that kind of affected the way the business was going. And it was at the same time that we had just merged with another company, so it was like dire times in the company. Everybody was all hands on deck, very stressful, and things were like going good and stuff. And he's kind of taking a step back. Long story short, just didn't work out with the partner and everything. But that was my plan, to go work there. Kind of had to pivot after everything went down, but I think God has a plan for everything, and I ended up working my dream job, and now I'm at Porsche of Nashville, which was like my dream growing up. That was what I was infatuated with, was cars and Porsches. That was like me and my dad's thing. Thankfully, he's still with us, and like he's getting to see me flourish in that, and it's just been such a blessing.
What is your role there?
I'm in parts, so I'm just doing their parts logistics. Essentially, we have a little hub here in Nashville.
Badass cars.
Oh, every day.
Yeah,
it's great. I'm like a kid in a candy store. That's where I used to go for
That's awesome, man.
my weekends, and now I get to go every day with a smile on my face. So
yeah, well,
I'm blessed.
If you feel comfortable talking about it, obviously I know we don't know each other well, but
I told you I was an open book.
Yeah, what was that experience like for you, for your family, finding out your dad's diagnosed with cancer? Because it's, to give a little backstory too, I had a close family friend of ours who lives in California, Dave Wisner, and he was on this podcast and we talked for 2 hours. It was a great conversation, and he has really severe prostate cancer. Wow. And it was just so interesting to hear his perspective on everything and how it just sort of shifted his mindset. Dude. And he's such a great guy. But yeah, I'm curious what that was like for you, because that's, like you said, you had to pivot. Like that's something no one expects or plans for or wants. So whatever you feel comfortable sharing, what was that experience like?
it shift when you are confronted with the mortality of yourself or a loved one. It definitely shifts your perspective on life in general and almost like the time you have with them and what it means. Um, but yeah, I mean, it's hard to think that your family and loved ones aren't gonna be here forever, and that's just a fact of life. But thanks to our faith in Christ and God, we know that we'll be reunited with one another in the heavenly realm at some point after our death, and that's kind of where I go to for comfort. Um,
Oh man, you're giving me chills,
really,
brother.
I'm ready to be yapping, bro. I don't know what I'm talking about, but
No, you.
yeah, that's long story short. It's hard. Um, my heart goes out to everybody who goes through it and is battling it. But I mean, it's been a gift for us, thankfully, to come closer together as a family and grow deeper in our faith. But it doesn't make it easier every day.
Yeah.
Especially this stage of life where things are so uncertain. You're new to your career, and then like your rock and
When you had a
foundation,
plan.
right? Yeah.
And
So
then not only like, and then obviously away from the business side too, like your whole personal life. Like that's,
mhm.
oh
Yeah.
wow. I think it's interesting you touched on too the mortality aspect because everyone's gonna die. We're
Mhm.
gonna die. Everyone we know is gonna die. But we try very hard and often, I think people distract themselves and I think that's part of why drugs and alcohol and all these other stuff are so frequent and used so often and
For sure.
even why people just escape on their phones and other stuff because it is scary if you think
Yeah.
about that. And it's yeah, it's a scary thought to be confronted with it in such a close way, like
Yeah.
you were.
Right.
Like you can't ignore that
Right.
this exists, and it's absolutely terrifying. And it's not fair. It's not like your dad did anything to deserve to get cancer.
Right.
I don't even know how you make sense of it.
Yeah.
Um,
I mean, it's not as much as you want to white knuckle life. You're never gonna force your will
yeah,
on it. So you just got to submit to God's will at the end of the
yeah.
day. What are your thoughts on that? Are you a believer? Are you
So
thinking?
I grew up Catholic. Wow, we are getting deep
Let's
quick.
go, dude. I want
So
to hear it all.
yeah, so I think I have questions, and I'm definitely in no means. Um, I don't know. I haven't been very active, I guess, in religion in a while. Like I'll go every now and then to church with my fiance's family or whatever, but I haven't been super active. I probably should look more into it. You would like this episode. I did Austin Eckert, one of my friends, and he's um, getting super big into Christianity. He said he was always kind of a Christian, but recently he started reading a lot of scripture. He's actually posting stuff
Wow,
on Instagram, doing reels,
I
and
love
we
it.
had a really interesting discussion just around different topics. But I don't know. I think I struggle with some aspects of it, but
Yeah,
I'm
like what?
certainly not closed off.
We don't have
Uh,
to get into that, but I mean,
yeah, I'm trying to think how to.
so you grew up in the Catholic Church.
I did, yeah. I think part of what I struggle with is that there's so many different religions,
Hmm.
and a lot of them are if you're not this, you're not going to heaven, or the equivalent,
Hmm.
and that's a tough thought that
Hmm.
these all exist,
Yeah.
and some claim to be right,
Yes.
and that if you're not that, you're wrong. And I think the work I do and the master's program I do, and this was a big debate Austin and I had. He was trying to argue that morality is objective, and
Hmm.
I was taking the stance that it's subjective. And I think it was just kind of different frameworks we were coming from.
Hmm.
I don't know what you would argue on that end.
Austin is a believer,
Hmm.
and he was arguing that morality is objective.
Yes.
Hmm.
His argument being that God is an objective figure and that I may be butchering this, but some version of his word, the Bible, gives an objective metric
Hmm.
of how to live morally.
Hmm. I would believe that.
And then my counter in a nutshell was, well, people interpret the Bible differently.
This is
And
true.
that I think, I mean, no matter what we do, we're all biased.
Hmm.
We all see the world through the lens that we've grown up, our beliefs, whether we want to or not. So I think you can say we weren't debating like God or not. We were debating the concept
Hmm.
of morality. So from my stance, it's impossible to say something like morality is objective
Mm-hmm.
because it's open to human interpretation.
Okay.
But he made a really good counter argument. It was a really interesting
Yeah,
discussion.
I'll have to go back and watch that. That's interesting. I would just back up and say, do you think that creation points towards a creator? And if so, what does that mean? And where do you go to once you answer that question?
Oh, that's a good question.
Like looking around at beautiful things, does that point towards something that created it?
Yeah, this
Or
this isn't quite gonna answer, but this is what I struggle with because I have these thoughts, right? Like the idea that there's some all-knowing being who created all this is insane. The idea that this just came from nothing is
also
equally,
insane.
if not more, insane. So
That's
like,
true.
where does that leave us? I don't know. I
That's
don't
a
know.
big question.
To be honest with you, I probably need to do more reflection on it.
Yeah, I would pray about it.
Yeah.
Look to
What is your, I guess, faith background journey where you at right now?
That's a good question. I grew up with a mother who was a devout Christian, and I was a deviant and was not a follower per se. Like I'd go to church and I'd go to the Bible studies and the Young Lives and all that, the societal Christian things, but I never knew Jesus and I never knew what that meant for my life. And I was in college and kind of had a come to Jesus moment of like, what is my life about? Why was I created? I'm sure you've had those thoughts like, why are you here?
Yeah,
What is the
it's a scary
universe?
thought.
That kind of stuff. So the questions were percolating early in college, but it didn't really lead me anywhere until sophomore year. I had some people come into my life that were great mentors and just like showed the gospel to me in I could actually break down the gospel into understandable pieces, which I wish somebody could do for you. I'm not the guy to do it, but
Yeah, that's what
it just
Austin
made
kind of
sense to
does
me.
on his Instagram, which is cool too.
Yeah. So
Um,
I encountered that in college and grew to have like go to Bible studies and church, and that wasn't really what saves you or what is the true change in your life. It's more so the posture and the acceptance of Christ in your life and in your heart, and that's what has made me a new creation. Like all the things that used to hold me down no longer do in a way. All the sin that would tear me away and take away my joy out of life is fulfilled and made full with Christ.
yeah, yeah. I mean, I think religion is a fantastic thing, right? Like, of course, you could cherry pick examples of people using it for not so good purposes, but for the
Yeah.
vast majority, it's a sense of community. It's values that are
Mm-hmm.
good for people, good for society. Like, be kind, treat others well. Like, it is a really good thing, and to have a community and stuff like that. So,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I'm glad that's been positive for you, and
Mm-hmm.
undoubtedly when faced with the serious medical event in your family,
Yeah.
I mean that's a grounding, and that's what Austin he said actually something very similar to you, where he's like, God is my number one value,
Mm-hmm.
and he basically said it doesn't matter what gets taken from me, my health, my work, my money, whatever, I'll always have that.
Wow.
And to him, that's a very comforting thought, as I'm
Yes.
sure you
Yeah.
feel the same way.
I need to meet this guy.
Yeah, yeah, you
Sounds
guys
cool.
would. I was hanging out with him last night.
Yeah.
Um,
Wow. So what is your resting place then? If you don't have that belief, where do you go for the answers or the unanswered questions in life? And like, because when I didn't have those answers, I was restless, and that made fruit into my life of just
yeah, that's an interesting question.
disorganization. So where's your happy place? Where do you find joy?
I mean, I find joy in I work a pretty stressful job. Honestly, taking care of my health is matters a lot to me, and that like I feel like that keeps me pretty grounded.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, my relationships with people, friends, family, my fiance, like those two things, I think keep me sane more than
Yeah.
anything else. But I did share this with Austin too. I spiral fractured my fibula um about a year and a half ago, and that was really hard because I couldn't work out, I couldn't walk for months, and it was like, and that was a huge piece of my identity,
Mm-hmm.
and that was really difficult for
Yeah.
a period.
Wow. Well, when your identity is in things that are not eternal, that you will eventually be let down in those things. So if it's in your health and you're sick for no reason, are you still you? Are you still like
Yeah.
fulfilled, you know?
Yeah. No, I struggle with that thought, and I definitely felt pretty down for that period of my life, and fortunately it was short lived and I recovered. But yeah, who knows if that got extended or what happened.
Man.
But yeah, I got a lot of reflecting to do on that side of things.
Yeah, yeah.
Um,
It's a big part of my life, so
yeah, it's
I'm not
good,
the
man.
main guy to share it, you know, and I don't feel worthy to share it, but at a certain point when you experience something in your life so powerful and transformative, it's almost like it overflows out of you, you know. So that's just kind of what's coming out right now. But
Yeah, no, I love your perspective and take on it, and I really am in no way like closed off or trying to argue for another side. I just
yeah.
I what you were saying about having a lot of questions is resonates.
Right. And I still have questions. It's not like everything's answered,
Yeah.
but I'm rest assured in Christ, so
Yeah.
that's very cool for me.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Well, I mean, how's your dad doing?
He's doing all right now. He's better than he was about like 4 months ago. There was a point where he couldn't walk. He had I don't know, I think it was like immunotherapy treatment, and it was so inflammatory around his spine, I guess, that he just lost the ability to walk and like stand on his feet. And that was so hard.
It's
That's when I
awful.
moved I was living with my brother in Nashville. We had a house together with a buddy, Matt.
Do you
With my
work in
buddy Matt.
Nashville too? Is that where?
It's in Cool Springs, just
Okay,
over here.
gotcha.
But
Easy to hop on the highway
yeah,
from there.
yeah. And
But you
after
guys moved
that
back home.
happened, I moved back home to help them and be with them, which has been a blessing too. Just spend time with family and stuff like that. Um,
Yeah, that's what when I had Dave on the podcast, he was like, I'm like, well, what do you want now out of life? And he's like, I just want time with my family.
yeah,
I want to do things with them. I want to
dude.
see my friends. You know, he's like, it's really all I want. Yeah.
I think it's what we all want deep down.
Yeah.
It's just sometimes we put other priorities above that, like money, success, and all the other stuff that takes priority in life.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, it's hard. It's difficult when there's stuff like that, like someone you're almost in a caretaker role in a sense, and it's your dad. And that's a really weird shift. And I've been fortunate to not have to experience this, but one of my close, oh no, I guess the light went off. We're gonna keep going without it.
This lighting might be better.
Yeah, it doesn't look bad. But one of my really close girlfriends, my fiance's best friend, she was sharing with me this weekend. Her mom it was some awful condition where there's like nerve endings in your brain and it messes with your jaw. I forget the name of it, but she was saying the doctors, they call it like suicide jaw or something because it's so painful people kill themselves when they have this condition.
That's
And she had to get
horrible.
brain surgery to some sort of operation to stop these nerve endings from firing. And she said it was just really bizarre because she had to go help her mom. Like she was the caretaker for her mom, and she was just saying how it was really hard and a weird shift, and
Yeah.
it was just difficult. So I think it sometimes gets lost on people from the outside. I mean, myself also being on the outside, but I do work with families who have children with a lot of needs, maybe a lot of disabilities, and it's of course the person suffering is a victim, but if we want to use broader terms like second victims, it's the direct family and the people who have to care for this person. Like
It's so true.
it's not their fault, but it's also a burden,
Right.
and it's something you have to carry and think about and worry about and dedicate your time, energy, attention towards.
That's love.
Yeah.
I mean, that requires love
Yeah,
to
absolutely.
have that sacrificial.
Yeah, it's you have to sacrifice a lot, and it's I think people don't always get told enough, and it doesn't always feel appreciated enough, but it is amazing that you and your brother moved back home to help your
He's still
parents.
living there, but
Well, screw him. No, I'm just kidding. It
He's
is
great.
amazing that you moved back home, and I'm sure, of course, your brother's done stuff too.
Yeah.
But for you guys to come together and take care of him, I mean, it's
Yeah, I mean, the main thing is probably to help my mom out,
mm-hmm.
just with the amount of workload she has, and she's been such a saint in the whole process. taking any little thing off her plate just makes me happy. So
Yeah.
that's where I'm at. But you mentioned you're engaged. I'm going to shift the conversation a
Yeah,
little bit.
yeah.
Tell me what that's about. Tell me what you prioritize in that relationship, how it got there, who she is.
Yeah, good question. Dude, it's so funny I like doing this because I've done I guess a few with people I don't know well,
Mm-hmm.
but this I think is my first in-person interview with someone like we really don't know each
Never
other.
met.
I guess we have semi-similar, like we grew up in a
Yeah,
similar area, went to the same
that's
college,
that's
but
so cool, dude. I love it.
so her name's Anna K. I just call her AK.
Mm-hmm.
We started talking our summer going into college. So I was 17 when we started talking. She was 18. I turned 18 that summer. And we had a really fun summer. And then she was going to study abroad in Italy her entire freshman year. She was going to Florida State, and they
Mm-hmm.
have a really cool study abroad program.
Wait, she goes to Florida State?
She
Or
did.
she
She
went to Florida
graduated
State?
now.
Okay.
Yeah, she went to Florida State.
So high school, you met her.
Summer going into college. I guess in high school we had some mutual friends, but we didn't really start hanging out
Mm-hmm.
until this summer. And her plan was her freshman year she was going to study abroad in Italy the entire year, and then go straight to Spain for the summer, and then go to Florida State.
Wow.
So we've been talking for a few months,
That's a
like,
lot.
and we spent a lot of time together that summer, and it was really fun. And I still have never really, obviously, felt that kind of way about a girl. So it's really sad, but we were like, we just don't think this can work. Like, we're both going into our freshman year. We're going to be in different countries. So we didn't like, we kind of dated, but not really. But anyways, we broke up, and we still talked a lot. But we just weren't together during this period. And then COVID happened our freshman
Wow.
year. So
Yeah,
then
you
we were
got-
brought back home. We had a lot more time together.
Was she abroad when that happened?
She was, yeah. So
The tail end of
so it
her
was
first year?
March. It was, yeah, the tail end of our freshman year. So it was
Wow.
March. She was in Iceland on a trip, and they
She was all
basically
over.
said, yeah, she did
That's
travel a lot as a
crazy.
fun year. But they basically said, like, don't come back. Campus is shutting down, COVID, whatever. So all her stuff, her clothes, her computer, it was just in this apartment in Italy for months
Dude,
before
what?
they shipped it back. Like, it was, I
You're
mean,
kidding.
you remember, of course,
So
how
she got
crazy
a
it
flight
was.
back home though?
Yeah, straight from
Okay.
Iceland. She
Wow.
came back home. And then
That had to be
I
wild.
was on spring break. We were in Fort Lauderdale my freshman year spring break.
Nice.
And Tennessee, basically, they sent an email saying, don't come back. All classes are going online. Like,
Golly.
you can come back for a day to pick your stuff up, and that's that.
That screwed you up, didn't it?
Yeah.
The whole college experience.
It did. It was weird, but AK and I got a lot of time together, and I would like to think we would have been together had that not happened, but who's to say?
Yeah.
And then we did long distance for 3 years. So she was at Florida State.
Wow.
I was at Tennessee. We actually did a really good job. I mean, obviously, long distance sucks for the obvious reasons, but I had friends at Florida State. My little brother went there. She had a bunch of friends at Tennessee, you know, being from this area. And we would visit each other when we could. It was a lot of online classes because of COVID still. So we had pretty flexible schedules.
Yeah.
And then we also just got to do our own things when we weren't together. Like, we both, you know, we're pretty active socially. We went out, we had friends. So
Nice.
we actually made that work really well. I mean, not that it was always easy.
How did you keep the flame alive? How do you keep during long distance? What did you guys have in place to make it feel like you're still dating and getting to know each other?
Well, we would pretty much always have some sort of trip plan. And then, like, obviously for breaks, we'd be together. But I think knowing that you had a trip plan is always good. You're like, okay,
something
a
to look
month
forward
or a
to.
month and a half, I'll get us here. And then, we just talked every day. Like, and we would make sure to call each other, and it really just communicating, which I think that's the biggest thing in any relationship and anything at all.
I could use some help with that.
Yeah,
Not
in the
always
relationship
best.
aspect. Yeah, but brother, it's hard if you got, you know, obviously a lot going on at home. I can see how, you know, let's say you're helping your mom out with your dad or something. You get a text from a friend. It's easy to be like, this isn't that important right now.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to prioritize things.
Yeah.
But that's good that y'all did that for so long.
Yeah.
Seems like it's flourishing. Is she in town now?
She
in
is.
Nashville?
She is, yeah. I think also what helped is obviously it wasn't indefinite. Like, we knew we'd both
gonna be back.
graduate and be back together. So we've been together for a really long time.
Let's go.
And she is really amazing. And then we got engaged last April, and we're getting married in Italy in April.
There
in a
you
few
go.
months. So it's
That ain't too shabby.
yeah, not too
Nice,
shabby at
man.
all.
I
So it'll
love
be a good
that.
time.
I hope there's many fruits from that relationship, and that you're able to serve her well in marriage. That's exciting.
Yeah, I appreciate it. It's been
Does it feel like a daunting task, or you think
to
you're
do the
ready?
wedding or
Just
to
to
get
be
married.
married, yeah.
Yeah, I guess it's strange. I guess it's like, I mean, we've been together so long.
Mm-hmm.
I never, I don't know. I mean, I guess I didn't, not to get all like sappy and whatever, but I didn't expect to feel this way about someone or
Mm-hmm.
think I could feel this way about someone. And she makes it pretty easy. So it is weird. It's a big step, but
Yeah.
it'll be
AK,
good.
you got a good guy here. Let's
I
go.
appreciate it.
I love that. So you're planning on being here for a little bit, working here indefinitely, or
Yeah, we've talked about maybe moving.
trying to move off to Italy? It sounds like.
I mean, that would be nice, but I don't know if that's gonna work with the career path I'm on.
Yeah.
But we've talked about maybe moving after we get married. I think we both want to try something outside of Nashville at some
Mhm.
point.
I feel that.
Yeah. But I guess you're gonna be here for a bit.
Yeah.
Just
I don't
everything
have
going
any
on.
plan to leave, but I'm certainly open to experience something else. I don't want to be the guy that stayed in his hometown his whole life
Yeah,
or home
yeah,
state, whatever.
yeah.
But
And Tennessee is a fantastic state. I mean, I'd have
it's hard to leave.
no qualms about coming
It is
back
hard to
here,
leave.
but I do want to experience something else,
Yeah.
at least for a little bit.
Where all have you traveled? What parts of the world have you seen?
Oh, I'm passionate about this one. I've
Yeah.
traveled a lot.
I see the
What's your travel
Hawaii shirt
background?
or the Hawaii hat.
This is actually from Anna Kate. She went to Hawaii. I did
Nice.
not, but she's a luxury travel agent, so that's her job.
Okay.
What do you?
That's
What's
a cool
what's your
job.
travel been like? I'll
I
answer,
mean,
but I'm just curious when I.
I've been fortunate enough to leave the country or to go to 3 different countries and done 2 big road trips with my buddies throughout the continental
Oh,
US.
that's cool.
And that's like life defining trips for me. Went to Costa Rica, went to Mexico, and we went on a speedboat to Canada and just like
That's
docked on a
sick.
beach and
Yeah.
shout out to the Bryants. That was amazing.
Yeah.
Um,
What
so
were the
I-
road trips like?
the road trips were amazing. We went, let's see, the first one was COVID summer. Yes, COVID summer. Me and one of my best buddies, Eli, and his older brother and friend, Sam and Max. They were Sam Rabner and Max Zanny. Do you know them?
Sounds
Went
so
to
familiar.
They went to Franklin. They might have been in your grade.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Sam had bought a van and wanted to do a road trip, and they were like, I went over there to Eli's place, and they're like, we're gonna do this road trip. We're gonna be gone for like a month. We just bought a van. We're gonna deck it
That's
out
like
and
where
go.
we started our conversation, like dreamers and doers. I love it. They're
Yeah.
like, we got a van. Let's
Yeah.
just do it.
I know. I was fortunate enough to just wander into the room when they were planning it, and I don't know how I weaseled my way into it, but
Dude, that's awesome.
I ended up with 1 or 2 days notice, just packing up and leaving. What grade was I? I was a junior in high school, and my parents were like,
Was
yeah,
this over a break? Was this summer?
COVID.
Oh, it was COVID.
So it would have been, the end of junior year. Everything shut down, so we just pack into this van and go out to, I think our first stop was Mount Elbert in Leadville, Colorado. And we like
that's sick,
sleep,
dude.
wake up, and do Mount Elbert, the tallest 14er in Colorado.
Is
We
that
need a fact checker
unbelievable?
here, dude. It kicked my butt. Like it was
I mean,
way
yeah.
harder than I thought it would be, especially with not being acclimatized or whatever. It was rough. They were trotting up at like freaking athletes, but I'm sitting there like dying.
Yeah.
That was so fun though. We went from Colorado for a little bit, Utah, Arizona. Hit all the big national parks and nobody's there, so we're just enjoying it by ourselves. Gas was like $2 a gallon because it was the middle of COVID.
Yeah.
Made it all the way up the California coast, Oregon, Washington, and then I
what a
flew back.
trip.
They kept going, but I was like, I
gotta
planned
go
I
home.
planned to be gone for like 7 days. I was gonna fly out of Arizona, and I ended up like each time we'd go to the airport, I'm like, I'm not ready to leave. And I'd get back in the van and we'd keep going.
So how long was your trip in total?
I was there for like 20 something days, and they were gone for about a
That's
month.
So cool. What was that like? Would that Colorado part be the highlight?
There's a lot of highlights. I mean, just experiencing all the great spots in America,
And what
being
a sense
young
of
and
freedom.
freedom,
Yeah,
like
you
it
can
was.
just drive like
Yeah,
it's such
and
a
that's the
cool thought.
first. I think that was like the first time I had done a trip alone, not like a family trip or with
Hmm.
parents, you know. And we managed it very well and had a good head on our shoulders, thankfully, and made it back safe. But
Yeah, that's
I got to
awesome,
see
man.
all these great national parks. I think one of the highlights is the Narrows in Zion. We did like 17 miles in this. Have you heard of the Narrows?
Yeah, I
So it's
have. I
like
haven't.
2,000 feet of vertical rock,
Is that where
and you're just hiking in this
what's
river.
the guy who had he cut his own wrist to get out? Was that there?
You gotta no, it wasn't there.
You
I
know
know
what I'm
what you're
talking
talking
about
about
though?
though. Yeah, that was like slot canyons.
Yeah,
I
that
think
oh,
I don't know
that's a
where that is.
crazy story. What was that dude's name?
I have no
There was a
idea.
movie about it too.
Hmm.
His hand got caught on a boulder and he was there for
Bro,
days and then he
imagine
cut his
cutting
own.
off your own
Ooh.
arm. You got nothing else. What else are you gonna do?
I hope it was just so crushed it was numb at that point, I'm sure, but
Yeah,
dude, even if you couldn't feel a thing, seeing yourself, and it
dude,
wasn't a good knife either. I think he just had like
a
a
little
pocket
pocket
knife.
knife, bro.
And to cut through the bone and
That's pretty rough.
oh,
That's
dude,
pretty
oh
bad.
no, that's terrible. I don't want to think about that.
So I didn't have to cut off my own arm, thankfully,
I
but
see you got
got
two of
to
them.
made it through there. And another really cool spot we went to was um, redwoods. That was probably my second favorite. We go and we're driving through the redwoods. We didn't plan a lot, so they did, I guess, but we're just driving through the redwoods like, "Oh, we'll stop and look at some trees." And we're almost to the end of the park because we have no phone service. We don't know where we're at.
Yeah,
And it's like redwood forest ends in 2 miles. We're like, "Oh crap, let's get out and go on a trail at least." And we just get on this trail, random, didn't look it up, and we kind of go down off the road for a few miles, and it opens up, and we're on the beach right there, and there's elk right next to us, and you look out, and there's a sunset going on, and there's two little dolphins jumping around. It's like a postcard. It was, and there's
that's
nobody in sight.
insane,
There's nobody, and we're walking through this like prehistoric jungle,
dude.
just popping out onto the
That's what life's
the
about.
beach, stuff like
What a cool experience.
that was really cool.
I've had that thought in my head of just like hopping in the car and doing that, and that's something
Yeah,
have not done.
I guess I don't think about it that much, but it is kind of crazy that
It's
just
awesome.
got in the van and
Yeah, and you
ran
saw all
around the
these
country
like
for a little bit.
amazing places, and it's it's I think people abroad obviously we know because we live here, but the
Hmm.
United States is a massive country, and there's a ton to
A
do,
lot
and
to
there's
offer.
a ton to offer,
Yeah,
and incredibly beautiful places. I want to go more. Like I said, I grew up in California, and did you go to Lake Tahoe on this trip?
not on that one. No, I went as a kid. I don't think I've road tripped through there, but
Lake Tahoe is
it's
awesome.
beautiful, isn't it?
That was my favorite because it was pretty
I went
close.
skiing there as a kid. I
Yeah,
don't remember
Squaw
much, though.
Valley probably.
I don't know.
That's like
I need to
that's
go
the
back.
biggest resort there.
Yeah,
Um,
that's so cool.
no,
Where?
Lake Tahoe is
So you're
unbelievable.
telling me you had a lot of travel experience? Where all have you been?
Yeah, I did a whole podcast. I was
You don't
in
have to repeat it then, but we can
no no
talk
no no
about
no
it.
no. I'm happy to. I was gonna say I did a whole podcast in Czech Republic, like reflecting on it
Mhm.
relatively recently. So I'll give
Dude,
a short spiel, but
that's where you studied abroad.
no, I'll walk you through chronologically. So the first time I traveled outside of the country, it was to Europe actually. So it was my senior year of high school. My dad's businesses started doing really well, and he decided to take our family to Europe. So it was what year? I think it was 2018 going into 2019. Like we were there for New Year's,
Wow,
and we went to France, we went to Switzerland, and we went to Italy,
dude.
and it was the coolest trip. Oh, it
I'm
was
sure.
so cool. I felt like a little kid. I mean, it was just awesome. Like everything was so new.
Did you just graduate
No,
from high school?
this was winter break.
Okay,
So this was
nice.
our winter break, and Italy in particular was just unbelievable to me. Like we
What about
did
it?
so I really liked we went to a few different cities, but Florence
Mhm.
really stood out to me. Like it's just such a walkable city, and the architecture's amazing. The Duomo is this big central piece of the city. It doesn't
Mhm.
even look real. Like it
Mhm.
doesn't feel real. and there's this plaza that overlooks the whole city that we went to, and then we went around the Tuscany region, which
Oh,
is the
dude.
wine region,
Yeah.
and we did a guided tour, and it was, I mean, it's just
That'll
so
spoil
like I was
ya.
just in awe.
Yeah, your first time out of the country, you got a good experience.
Yeah, it was
That's
awesome.
crazy.
So first time out of the country, I was 17, and then that summer, this is the same summer I started talking to Anna Kate. Well, I guess that spring I went to like a Mexico resort for spring break, my senior year of high school spring break. Um, then my dad, he was doing work in Canada in Niagara Falls, so my brother and I we
Wow.
went to Canada, and my parents it was like their 20th wedding anniversary, and their honeymoon was in Aruba, so they took our family
No
to
way.
Aruba. So we did a
Man.
trip in Aruba that summer. And then my dad, for decades, did work in Singapore.
What does he do?
He now owns consulting companies. Well, I guess he did then too, and he's
Mhm.
very specialized in talking about preventing crime and abuse against vulnerable populations. So specifically people with disabilities.
Okay.
He would do trainings on in Asia, and he was a professor for years.
Wow.
So he's published a bunch of stuff. He's absolutely unbelievable.
Have you had him on here?
speaker. I'm going to have him on
I
here.
wanna
Not
learn
yet.
about him.
He wants it more dialed. He's like
He needs a good
he's like, get
system
your
first?
podcast dialed
Okay.
before. I mean, my dad he's unbelievably smart, and
That's cool.
yeah,
That explains kind of your path a little bit.
yeah, absolutely.
Is that
The
kind of what
background.
you drew from?
Yep.
The inspiration for it? Very cool.
100%. But he took me with him to Singapore.
Wow.
So on one of his work trips, we went to Singapore,
Dude.
and then we went to China. So in
Holy
2019, we went to China.
Wow.
We went to the Great Wall. I mean,
What is that like?
it was.
What does it feel like there? The vibe, the people.
So we went to Beijing. Yeah, I mean, it's just a huge city. Like,
Mhm.
I think the airport to our hotel was maybe like 10 miles, and it took like 2 hours to get there. Like, there's just so many cars. There's so many people. It was really smoggy.
Wow.
And we had a guide the whole time because, obviously we don't speak Mandarin.
Hmm.
But it was really interesting. Like, there were some really cool parts. The Great Wall is even
Is it
bigger
pretty
than
great?
I thought. Yeah, like it's fascinating that they
What
built
a
this.
wild thing.
Yeah, it was a really cool experience.
Did you get to learn some history there
I
that you didn't
did.
know?
Well, we not that I didn't know, I guess, but like we went to like the main square and just different parts. I mean, it was a really interesting trip.
Wow.
And it was just such a foreign place,
Dude.
like China.
That's wild.
And I'm trying to think the next time I went out of the country, crazy enough, I booked the flight to go see Anna Kate in Italy, but then COVID canceled that our freshman year of college. So then COVID happened.
Yep.
Not really traveling at all. I think the next time I went out of the country, I studied abroad my sophomore year summer
Okay.
in Florence in
Nice.
Italy.
So you went back to where
Yep.
you already
And
liked
Anna Kate was
and
there
loved.
that summer as well.
Okay.
So we both spent a summer there. I did completely random roommates, and
Wow.
that was an awesome experience.
Let's go.
Like studying
That's a
abroad,
coin
I'd
toss, I feel
recommend
like.
having
The randos.
yeah, two of them were, but two of them I'm still friends with today. I'm doing a
That's
podcast
awesome.
with them tomorrow.
Heck yeah. Those are the ones you're going to do virtual?
Yep.
Nice.
Because one lives in DC and one lives in New York.
Mm.
But we went, so like
cool.
when you study abroad and you got a place there, you can I'm sure you've heard of Ryanair, these super inexpensive airlines,
Mhm.
and they do really cheap flights if you just bring a personal item.
Yeah.
So like they charge extra for everything. You want a suitcase, extra. You want a seat, or like a seat you pick, extra. So if you just throw
They're
some
nickel and
clothes in a
diming you.
backpack and go somewhere for a weekend, it's cheap. We went to round trip from Florence, Italy to Corfu, Greece. It was 42 euros, which
Wow.
the dollar and euro were the same. Like sometimes they vary. They
Mhm.
were the same exchange rate. So basically $40
$40.
for a round trip flight to Greece. I mean, it was
Wow.
insane. So we went to Greece, Budapest, we went to Croatia. Where else did we go? Amsterdam, went to the
Wow.
Netherlands. I mean, that was
Everywhere.
such a fun summer.
Dude.
Yeah,
I'm sure you'll remember that forever.
absolutely. And then we went and then my senior year of college, I went back to Mexico for senior year spring break, just at a resort. But then I was like, I want to do a solo trip.
Mhm.
And I told you I graduated a semester early, so I didn't really have anything. So I was like, whatever, I'll book a flight somewhere. So I went to Colombia by myself for a few
Whoa.
days, which was really
That's a
cool.
wild place to go.
Yeah, stayed in a
solo
hostel.
trip. Nice.
Yeah, it's been a lot safer recently. I know there's a lot of backstory. So I went to Medellin was the city I stayed at.
Mhm.
I went hang gliding. Went to
Wow.
Pablo Escobar's old neighborhood. It was a
Dude.
cool trip.
Okay.
It was a really cool trip. And then my master's program I mentioned too. It's mostly online, but
Mhm.
it's the university is based out of Sweden. So
Okay.
I've been 3 times this past year
To Sweden.
to Sweden,
Wow.
and then I'll stack. Like I'll go to a country on the front end and the back end.
Let's go.
So in total, I've been to 26 countries.
Nice. Do you have any goals for travel? You trying to knock them all out, or?
All the countries, dude. I mean, I would love to, but there's just some places like Somalia, dude. Like you just can't go there. Did you hear?
Wow.
I know right before we started recording,
try.
you said you like Joe Rogan. Did you
Mhm.
hear his podcast? It was a while ago, but it was with a British journalist, and he was doing a story in Somalia, and they overtook his car and held him for ransom for 2 years.
What?
2 years, and his mom ended up raising $1 million and paid to get him
To
released.
free 'em?
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, they were originally asking for like 20 million from the British government. They held him captive for 2
Wow.
years.
Okay, so Somalia is off the list then.
Yeah, I mean, like if it got safer, it's just like there's some.
There's got to be a
places-
safe way to
I
do
definitely want to hit every continent.
it. Mm-hmm.
I don't think there is a safe way to do Somalia.
You got South America, North America.
Yep,
Europe,
I have no
Asia.
Africa, or Oceania.
Yeah,
which is like
Australia.
yeah. Antarctica being the craziest.
That'll be tough. There's things you can do though, like to knock that off your bucket list, like cruises and
Yeah, I think you
stuff
got to
like
go
that.
way South America
Yeah.
and then take.
they take a little boat over there and you can
Mhm.
step on it.
What about you? What's on your bucket list, travel wise?
I feel like that's a great question. I've always wanted to do Mount Kilimanjaro in Africa. I grew up fascinated with mountaineering and climbing and never really made anything of it, but I had a book in 6th grade and it was this kid that was like 15 when he did the 7 summits, and that was like the coolest thing to me as a
He was
kid.
15.
15, he did Everest, Kilimanjaro, like every continent, the tallest mountain there.
Yeah.
And
Oh,
that
that's
was
wild.
awesome. And his story of Kilimanjaro was so cool. I was like, that's something you could, do without a ton of mountaineering experience. I'd like to do that. Maybe get a group of guys and go train for it and do it. Yeah, and like you, I'd like to do every continent. And then from there, maybe, who knows?
Yeah.
Do every
I've
country.
I've been really lucky to travel as much as I have. And having my dad, he travels so much for work
Yeah, that's nice.
that's helped, and having a family that's supportive for it has
Mhm.
helped. But yeah, dude, I've been pretty lucky and now I got the bug, so
Let's go.
there's a lot of places.
What made
to
y'all
go.
decide on getting married in Italy?
Well, so she lived there her entire freshman year. We
Mhm.
both studied abroad there. It
Separately though, right?
was
Or were y'all there?
we weren't staying in the
Okay.
same place, but we were there at the same
Oh,
time.
you were. Okay.
We were both there that summer.
Nice.
She was there freshman year separately,
cool.
but then that summer, and she also lived there and worked there after we graduated too.
Dang.
And then it was also that on my first trip I went there. It's just Florence is both of our
Wow.
favorite cities.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah, it's
When's the wedding?
April 14th.
It's coming up.
It is.
That's cool, man.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Is it gonna be big or is it
No, it's
kinda
it's gonna
close
be
family?
I mean, it's a big ask to ask people to come to Italy,
right?
and it's just it's just a smaller venue.
I've always wondered how that works.
Yeah,
The
it's
vacation or the destination weddings.
yeah, it's a smaller venue. I hate I couldn't have invited more friends. Like I
Mhm.
invited, I think 6 friends in
Wow.
total.
Yeah. Are you doing something in the States to celebrate?
Yeah, I invited a few more people to my bachelor party. I'm doing that a little bigger, but we don't have any big celebration. We were talking about doing something
Yeah, I
like
don't know
that,
how
but it's
people
so
usually do that.
expensive.
Yeah.
To get a venue in the
Mhm.
States. It's actually less expensive to get
To do it
venues
there?
over there, but of
Oh,
course,
man.
it's the travel and all of
Okay,
that.
I'm
It's,
gonna have to look into that.
yeah, and we're just doing less people, but it's
Very cool.
yeah, a lot of our family has traveled a lot and
Mm-hmm.
is used to it, so that helps too.
Yeah.
But I'm excited for some of my friends. It'll be their first time in Europe.
Wow, that's cool to get them to or get to show them around something
Yeah.
you're interested in. So besides travel, what other things in your life kind of get you excited and infatuated with it?
Got good questions. I get fixated on random things. I love
Oh, I'm the
EDM
same way.
music. Absolutely love EDM music. I got the DJ board right there. I'll
Dude,
just mess on that thing.
now. Let's go.
Yeah, we we can, dude.
Let's bump.
No, I've done some podcast or Or we'll like talk on the front, DJ, and then talk on the back end.
There you go.
So I do love EDM music. I love going to live shows. Like I just love the energy there. That gets me fixated. I'm super into running. I work out. I mix cardio and weights, but I love to run.
Let's go.
Are
you training for anything?
No, I did run a marathon, and
Nice.
I was like, dude, it was hard. I'm glad I did it. Yeah, I don't know if I want to do another one. It was just a lot of training.
Beat you up.
Yeah, it's just, I mean, and I got the time I wanted. I wanted under 4 hours.
Dang.
And I barely
Very
got
nice.
that. Yeah, which is it's just a lot of training.
It is.
But this has me excited. This podcast,
yeah.
doing this. I think I want to, after this 30-day challenge, maybe rebrand the channel a bit and maybe also do some videos that aren't podcasts, like more edited videos or something. I'm still trying to figure out what that would look like.
For sure.
But my master's program has me excited. I mean, weddings got me excited.
Let's go.
I like, yeah, dude, I like.
What
a
other
lot of
hobbies
things.
you have? Music, podcast, travel,
Yeah, I mean,
running.
yeah, I think I got
you
it.
covered
I think I got
everything.
enough. I mean, I love watches. I love
Okay.
James Bond. I like.
Let's go.
What watch you got on? Speaking.
This is
of
my
watches?
dad's Breitling. You can take a look at it.
Dude.
It's a Bentley.
Oh,
Breitling,
that's such a cool watch.
2007.
Oh, I gotta show the camera this thing. Do you know the name of the model?
It's a Breitling Bentley. You'll have to look it up.
It's an automatic. Yeah, you can feel that
That's
heavy movement.
a blessing to have. I should know more about it.
Special edition, dude. This is such a cool watch. Is it? So is your dad big into watches?
Yeah, he was a Breitling guy. He likes flashy stuff. So
And it's got the.
gave me that as a grad gift, and it had a
It's got the. Got the.
what's the
Dude, you
stainless steel band.
Mhm.
It was a little flashy
I
for
like
me,
this
so
one.
I wanted the more active, like daily band.
This is such a cool watch.
Appreciate it,
wow,
man.
I really do love watches.
Oh, man.
I got a decent little 10 watch collection. Everything
Okay.
ranging from like a $50 Casio to I guess the most expensive watch I have is like a 1500 Tag.
Nice. Yeah, Tag and Breitling.
But this is a really cool watch, dude.
Thank you, man.
Wow.
I'd like to see yours after this.
Yeah. I'm happy to show. I'm just wearing the Garmin right now.
Let's
but
go. I need to get me one of those. I got the Whoop, but
yeah.
I want something with a screen that I can look at paces and heart rate while I'm doing my workouts.
Yeah. I much prefer. So I'll wear this to sleep and work out, but during the day, I mean, I just went on a walk, which is why I'm wearing this right now. But normally I'm wearing an analog watch. Like there's just something about those. Like I hate going to work with like a sport watch on. Yeah, and it's just one of my favorite ones. I got this Christopher Ward. Are you into watches at all?
Like very surface level.
Yeah,
I respect them and understand kind of like why watches are special, but outside of
cool.
that,
that's really cool. That's from your dad too. Because even if it wasn't,
me and
that's
my brother
a gorgeous
both
watch.
Me and my brother both got a Breitling when we graduated, and that was something he really wanted to do for us, and gonna wear that for the rest of my life.
Yeah, that's awesome.
I would like to have some watches and stuff like materialistic stuff that means something to me in life, but I don't want to just go and buy the most expensive and nicest. Like I like something with a story and has some meaning to myself. That's kind of my plan on getting into hobbies and stuff.
Yeah, I think it's really special to tie things into that. Like the tag I have, my dad got me when I got certified as an investigator in my role. That was a cool gift.
That's very
And then
cool.
Christopher Ward, have you heard of that brand at all? It's a UK brand, but they do Swiss movements. They do some really cool movements.
Wow.
But I got this GMT watch. Do you know what that means?
You gotta pull it up. You gotta teach me.
We
need like a little screen or something.
GMT, basically that function means you can track multiple time zones.
Okay.
So I got myself this Christopher Ward watch. It's I kind of like the smaller watches sometimes. So it's a slightly smaller millimeter on the wrist. It's like 38 millimeters.
Nice.
But to have a GMT is pretty difficult to fit that small. But I got it when I started my master's program. So and it surprisingly is super useful when I'm there tracking 2 time zones, because I can just glance at my watch and then I know what time it is in the States versus when I'm in Sweden.
Yeah.
So that's cool too. Like I do like tying meaning.
Something you can be passionate about and has some usefulness to you.
Yeah, 100%.
Cool.
But yeah, dude, watches are there's a whole world of watches out there. Cool.
I can't dive into all of it, but I like observing people's passions from the outside, you know? So it's
Yeah.
very cool to hear you're into it.
Well, I got to throw your question back at you. What are you most excited about right now, or what
Hmm.
hobbies, whatever? What gets you excited?
What gets me excited?
Cars.
Cars does, and that's kind of why I got into that industry to see what um what I could do in the space, and if it was something that I wanted to spend my life doing or a portion of my life. But entrepreneurship has always like grasped my attention, and I know that at some point I will run and operate my own business. So that's something that motivates me and keeps
What
me
are your
hungry
thoughts
and
on
keeps
that?
me. What are my thoughts on it?
Yeah. What kind of business? What are we?
Dude, I'm just taking it day by day, step by step. The Lord's got a plan, and
But you want to be,
I
you want to
mean,
run
and I
something.
have ideas, but
Yeah. You got James to bounce off too.
dude, got to have people in your life like that. And I've got a partner that we're working on something together. Maybe I'll come back here after when I got a success story.
Yeah.
I always want to do a podcast after the success story, but I think
Hey,
it'll
it'd
be
be
cool to
cool to see
document
before.
before, like where your head's
I
at.
love it, dude. I've thought of that too because I've talked to people like a couple podcasts ago, my sweet mate Asher, and he is so talented at making music.
Yeah,
And he only has one release right now. I'm like, dude, you got to release more. And I would love if he just like
yeah,
blew up, or I have people on here and
I
then
love that.
they do
You
something great.
will
I'm like,
if you keep going. Like
yeah,
there will
yeah.
be
I
people
mean,
that
this
wrap
is
around and have a success
God, what
story.
episode is this? This might be 61, 62. This is over 60
Nice.
episodes.
Wow. Most people never make it past 2
Yeah.
once they start.
So when we started, and James was a part of this too, but apparently 99% of podcasts don't get past episode 20.
Mm-hmm.
So if you do 21 podcasts, you're in the
You're exceptional
top
already.
1%
Let's
by
go, dude. Congrats.
videos produced. Obviously not views or anything. That's a
Mhm.
different metric, but yeah. So
Yeah.
we're well past that now.
What started it initially? Are you just a
This
curious
podcast?
guy? Yeah. Did you want to get to know people? Did you want to learn stuff?
I'd say I am a curious guy. But my dad, he had a podcast, and then they kind of stopped doing it. So
You
these
had the
microphones
equipment?
were sitting
Let's
here.
go.
I think that was something, and I feel like you feel this too, where you got ideas in your head.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like I've had that idea in my head. Like
Dude.
it'd be cool to do a podcast. I've always loved making videos. I've always
Mhm.
loved YouTube.
Mhm.
Even as a little kid, like I would just film
Yeah.
videos. I had a sports channel that did very well on YouTube for a
Wow.
while. So I've always liked YouTube and the
Mhm.
idea, and I feel like I haven't documented much of my life in the past few years.
You have not?
I have not.
Yeah.
Like I feel like since I've been working, I've just been busy.
Mhm.
And I thought, I don't know, selfishly to document my thoughts, the people in my life, other stuff,
Mhm.
and look back on and get to hear different perspectives. And I've had some really cool conversations.
Yeah.
I've had some that have just been entertaining. And then I also think podcasting is a really awesome format.
Yeah, it is. I think we would all be surprised how many people relate to what you're going through and who you are.
Yeah, absolutely.
And most people are just too scared to share it or don't think that they're worthy to, you know?
Yeah.
So props to you for doing it, making
Yeah, I
it happen,
appreciate it.
setting goals, doing it. 30 days, 30 pods. Let's go.
Yeah, I appreciate it. And
I
I
love it.
like the concept, just calling it the Average Joe Podcast, obviously a play on my name. But
I love
I
it.
also want to talk to people because I think everyone I think humans are so weird. We're all so weird. I'm so weird.
Fascinating.
You're so yeah, we're so interesting. We all have our weird rules and ideas and thoughts, and it's how often do you get to sit with someone for an hour and just talk and you're not
Mhm.
distracted by anything? And
So true.
everyone has a perspective to share, even if you don't agree with it or it's
Mhm.
different. I think it's interesting, and I
Man.
think having a format to do that is pretty
Yeah.
awesome.
That's very cool. Do you reflect on the podcast and like rewatch them and take notes? What have you
So-
learned from talking to people?
So I I did initially would pretty much listen to all of them. Now that I'm doing 30 podcasts in 30 days,
Kind of
it's-
rough to
It's
go
I
back
can't be
through.
listening to myself talk every day. Like it's just too much time.
Yeah.
But yeah, I feel like I have got better at talking and kind of knowing what to say and just being
That's a
engaging
skill.
with people.
Yeah.
I appreciate it. But people like having guests is so much better because
Mhm.
I've done a few solos. But
Have you done one with your girlfriend yet? Or
No.
fiance?
no, I will. She's on the list.
That would
Blair's
be really
on the
cool.
list. Yeah. So
Who is your favorite person you've had on and why?
I mean, Dave, the one with Dave, who I was telling you who has cancer, was
It's
just
got to
really
be life changing.
because so that was the 21st episode. I wanted to
Mhm.
make that one a special one for
Mhm.
putting in the top 1%. And he's just such a great dude, and he has such a good perspective, and just
Mm-hmm.
hearing him, like, we kind of walked through his whole life and then his thoughts now, and that was just a really unique episode to
Yeah,
me.
that's
And
so
I
special.
also really, really enjoyed the one with Austin,
Mm-hmm.
and our discussion and we both said we're like,
Yeah.
this was super stimulating is the
Yeah.
word we
Did he
came
get you
to.
thinking about bigger questions?
Yeah, definitely.
That's good.
Definitely. Yeah, that would be the one I would recommend to you. You could
Yeah.
probably skip. We were kind of just talking about random stuff for the first hour,
That's fine.
but it's yeah, it was a good conversation. And then there's been people I've had on multiple times, like my brother,
Mm-hmm.
Maddie, my friend Tom. I mean, there's just been people who have been on
Yeah.
it, but
That's so
the
cool.
one with Dave does stand out.
That's so cool. Everybody deserves a platform and has a voice that will resonate with somebody. I love the concept of the show.
Yeah, I
Really cool,
appreciate it.
man.
I think it's cool too to
Who's
do
your
it.
dream guest? Do you
Oh,
have
a
somebody?
dream guest? Yeah, Robert Greene, hands down.
Robert Greene.
He's an author. He wrote 48 Laws of Power, being
Okay.
his biggest book. I'm just a huge fan of. He's a weird dude, but his books are so good. They're so good.
I haven't read them, but I mean,
They're
they're
weird.
everywhere.
They're not for everybody.
Mhm.
They're definitely like kind of heavier reads, and he's got a pretty signature style. But I'm really, really love his books.
Let's go.
So that would be a dream guest,
It'll
Robert,
happen, man.
if you're listening.
If it's to be, it's up to me.
Yeah.
Make it happen, bro. Keep doing them.
Yep.
Maybe by podcast 1,000, you'll have them on here.
Yeah, it'd be great. Well, that's what another part too. And I know, obviously, I'm kind of copying the Joe Rogan style, but I think it's also nice to be able to talk unedited. And even if the conversation's boring or messy, it really is unscripted.
Yeah.
And we're just bouncing ideas off. And
I mean, dude, we just met.
yeah, we
I
just
didn't know
met.
I had no time to prepare. I could think of anything to say.
It's also wild too. And I don't know if you feel this, but when I started doing this, I felt like sometimes I'd be talking and I'm like, oh God, this doesn't even make sense. I'm bouncing from topic to topic, or I'm talking in circles. And then you
probably
listen
that
back
way.
and it connects a lot more. Like,
It connects more than you thought.
yeah,
Really?
like it makes sense. Like
Yeah, I feel like I've been all over the place. So
No,
maybe I'll look back. And
You'll listen
see
and be
that.
like, that actually flows better than I even thought it did.
Very interesting.
But I think there's just, our attention spans are shorter. There's a lot of quick stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's cool to actually sit down, have a long conversation, and just talk about things.
Dude,
I mean,
we need
anything.
it. We're hungry for it. Clearly, I mean,
Yeah.
podcasts wouldn't blow up the way they have if humans didn't need that deep conversation that's been taken away from most people's lives. We're just distracted and always running and doing something. Like, there's
Yeah, it's a
no
cool medium.
texture in our conversations anymore.
Well, while we're on the distracted topic, let's talk about your thoughts on ADHD medication.
Let's go. That's a great topic. So I think it was like first grade. I remember they told me like, oh, you have ADHD, and they prescribe you whatever it is, Ritalin or
Some Adderall equivalent.
And they were doing that since I was in like second grade, and I didn't feel like I knew I was a smart person and like capable, and then you're like, well, you're different and you're distracted easily. It can kind of make you feel alienated in a way. It didn't really for me.
Self-fulfilling, I think, is what you're alluding to.
Yeah,
where it's
like you're so
oh
distracted.
wow, I
you're so
really
energetic.
can't focus. I'm not good at school. I'm not.
Yeah, when really you're just a little kid with energy, trying to you should be running out in the woods half the day, but you're sitting here trying to learn whatever it is, times tables.
Yeah.
Not that education is bad. It's just some people need a different structure, like me, James, and probably yourself. And I've seen a lot of other successful people have a similar path, and we're the same kind of kids, and that fires me up. Like the first time I heard of a CEO that's like, oh, I have terrible ADHD, like since I was a little kid, I'm like, oh my gosh, that could be me. Like I still have the ability to use how my brain works to do something cool.
And you have energy to do things.
Right. Like
passionate.
it is a gift. You need to learn how to use it. And I think that medicating it can help some people, but slapping a Band-Aid on something won't change your life and won't bring you to a better place. So figuring out how to direct that energy and use it for something positive and find ways to like get the same thing from medication, whether it's like sauna or exercise. That's kind of been something cool for me. I'm sure you feel the same.
Yeah.
Something natural.
I love
eat good food.
Sauna. Yeah.
Live like you should. Don't eat crap. Don't treat your body bad. And next thing you know,
Yeah, take
you
care of
like you
yourself.
can have a conscious life and you can think and you can focus. But I think the
So you take
medication,
no medication now. When did you stop taking medication?
COVID.
Okay, so
So
you
I
were on
was
it for years and
years,
years.
years, and I always hated it. I was like, this makes me feel like a freaking zombie. I'm not
Yeah, I
myself.
remember
It's
having
literally just
a
like,
one of my good friends in middle school took it, and then he his personality was different,
oh
and
yeah,
he
I
couldn't
can't
eat.
imagine.
Like we'd be at lunch, he wouldn't eat,
Yep,
because he just
I
wasn't
felt the
hungry.
same way, dude.
And yeah, it's weird, man. They're serious medications.
Very serious. What are they? Are they amphetamines or what?
Yeah, I think it's like they are amphetamines, and I think it's very chemically similar to methamphetamine.
Right. Which give that to a first grader every day, see what
Yeah,
happens.
it's
It's crazy.
wild, and
And they were like, it felt like going in, they're just experimenting with dosages. It's like, oh, take 5 milligrams, and the next time you're like, well, his grades didn't change that much. Okay, let's try 50. And you're like, what? That's 10x what we were just doing. You think that that's the path forward? And my poor parents didn't know any better, and I'm sure most parents don't. They just know that their kid should focus and be productive in school. When
do you like to read?
I do now, but before I would never touch a book, and I never had the attention span to do it. And really didn't feel like. I think my life changed after I got off the medication.
I'm gonna give you a book recommendation.
Let's hear it.
It's called Saving Normal. It's by
Okay.
Alan Francis. I'm pretty sure on the author name. The book's definitely
You
called
gotta
Saving
send that
Normal.
to me after.
Yeah, so he was, the DSM.
DSM.
Are you
I
familiar
do
with
not.
that? So for psychological conditions, disorders, this book is like the Bible. This is what there's been different editions.
Mhm.
It basically gives, diagnostic criteria for so everything from like depression
gives
to
a name to
bipolar to
everything.
ADHD, and like here's what you're looking for.
Okay.
And to go back to objective subjective, when it gets to psychological stuff, and I majored in psychology in college as well, but it's all subjective.
Very.
Like a lot of this stuff you're scoring is pretty subjective. They tried, to make it.
And then they give an objective solution,
Mm-hmm.
like a fixed
But this author's perspective in Saving
drug.
Normal is really fascinating because he was on the board for
Mhm.
these books, and then he pushed back heavily against, at least at the time he wrote the book. I don't know if there's been a new edition since, against it, and
Against the book.
against the book, because his argument was, he said, we're broadening these criteria so much. He goes, we're over diagnosing normal people.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, we're making this criteria that you can just fit for anybody. And ADHD is a big topic in the book, and the rates of ADHD and autism diagnoses
Insane.
in the past decade or so, I mean, were people probably being underdiagnosed before, sure, but it's gone up like hundreds, if not. I wish we did have a fact checker, because I don't want
That
to
would
speak
be
wrong, but
nice.
it's gone up an unbelievable percent.
Yeah.
And the medications, I think, I also am not 100% sure about this, because I will say, I know I just saw this on social media. I need to actually look this up, but it was something like the United States is 13% of the world population, but uses like 85% of the ADHD medications.
Dude, there's no doubt in my mind that people are overprescribed for ADHD specifically, and that the solutions are not good.
But this book, Saving Normal, is fascinating, and it's exactly what you're talking about. And this guy brings in, because he was in this world that talked about diagnosing people, and he basically got to the point where he's like, we're diagnosing normal people and telling them they have problems, and then we're giving them medications, and then they think they have problems, and then it's just this like cycle.
Right. And I don't think ADHD is the worst of the things that you're describing. Like being told that you have other things could be and being medicated for it could be way more harmful to you than what ADHD was. But
well, I'm sure there also are, of course, people who do have ADHD who do need to take the medications where it does really benefit their life.
Right.
But I think we should be cautious of being quick to give first graders medications, and we should try alternatives before we get there. And I think it is pretty easy to just prescribe stuff, and there's incentives to do it, whether maliciously or not. People get paid when those medications are prescribed, and that exists.
Yeah.
And it's easier
it's a weird
to do.
system.
Yeah, it is. But the book is really interesting. I think
Saving Normal.
I think you would get a lot of. I think you would appreciate it.
Yeah.
Just given your perspective.
I'll read back and come back to you and tell you what I think.
Yeah.
Saving Normal.
Saving Normal. I can text it to you too.
Please
Yeah,
do.
dude, it is interesting.
Did you have ADHD? I didn't know if you said that.
No,
But you were hyperactive, kind
yeah,
of.
I was always an active kid, but I got good grades. I could focus.
Mm-hmm.
I definitely think teachers would describe me as like energetic, maybe even a little
Oh,
disruptive
dude,
and
my poor
talkative.
teachers.
But I've always been able, I think because I got good grades, like that's why I never got
Mm-hmm.
tested or that wasn't a concern, you
Yeah.
know?
I got decent grades. I was just a distraction to the class in a way. Like I was a
Yeah.
class clown, and yeah, it was pretty obvious that I was an energetic kid. Um, yeah, I just don't think that medication is the way to solve that. And like it, when you know that and you've experienced it in your life, it kind of swings you the far away. So now, like if I get sick or something, I'm like, I'm not taking that pill,
You're like no Tylenol,
Right,
nothing.
nothing.
Yeah.
Which I could see that being harmful, and I think that the whole space and people that think like me kind of went to the far other side of that spectrum, with like no faith in the medical
Mm.
system, which is probably not a good thing.
Yeah. It gets hard when things do get subjective. And then, I mean, COVID was just a weird time.
Hmm.
And then there's been times people at like medical professionals have been really wrong on stuff.
Hmm.
I mean, even there, I think there's stuff coming out about SSRIs. Like they don't do anything
Yeah,
for
that
a lot
stuff's
of
sad.
mental health stuff that was being prescribed for. Like that's
Hmm.
crazy.
Is that a serotonin reuptake inhibitor?
Yeah.
Is
Well,
that for depression?
yeah, I think it's commonly prescribed for depression, but
Yeah.
and I could be wrong. I'd be curious on this, but I swear there was stuff like it was not nearly as effective as they thought, or like the pathway it was doing wasn't
Yeah,
even like connected to what it is. But
dude,
I don't know exactly.
it's
I
sad.
of course please do your own research if you're listening to us.
We're the
But
medical professionals. We
yeah,
know what we're talking about.
um,
Don't take your depression medication.
but going back to like kind of what you like and are interested in, what are you most excited for in your life right now?
Hmm. Well, I have a girlfriend and we've been dating for 10 months, and I think
It's
that's
awesome,
really
brother.
exciting to
Congrats.
like
Yeah.
take everything from my faith journey and everything I've learned from mentors and stuff and bring that and try to implant it into a blossoming relationship. So that's really exciting, and I'm going to visit her and her family in the Dominican Republic
Oh wow.
next Tuesday.
Where does she live in Nashville?
She lives in Knoxville. I met her at
She lives
school.
in Knoxville. Okay.
Hmm.
And her family's from the Dominican. You're
Yeah.
going to the Dominican. We're out in a new country.
Let's do it, man.
Let's go.
I'm ready.
That's awesome, dude.
So that's something
And
that's really
oh, 10
exciting.
months. That's
But
great.
it's
You're way
I'm
past puppy love.
yeah, right. And we're still strong. It's just figuring out how to be like the sacrificial love that I was kind of asking you about. Like, how do you serve each other while you're away, while you're long distance? We live 3 hours away.
Yeah,
And
but you're doing long distance. You are. I mean,
yeah, doing it.
how what I guess what would you say would be, like you said, you're taking advice from what you've learned from mentors.
Hmm.
So what would be
For the
your biggest,
relationship,
yeah, your biggest takeaways to keep your relationship successful?
I'm not the guy to ask, and she'll probably cringe at this, but uh,
And we'll see if she
I
makes it to
I
an hour
think
and
it's
13.
super. Yeah, is it an hour and 13 minutes?
Oh, dude, I meant to ask you. I always ask people. I'm like, how long do you think we've been
No, I'm
talking?
good. I would
But
not have
people
said
usually
that.
underestimate.
Yeah,
Be
that's
like
nice.
30 minutes. Yeah, hour 13.
Okay, so what was I saying? I think the important thing that I've learned about relationships is centering it around something that like a common belief, and for me that's Christ and my faith, and building your
Yeah, it's a huge
foundational
value.
structure around that, and also like having the hard conversations. I forgot who told me this, but like the hard conversations you can imagine as either like a pillar for your relationship, something else for it to stand on. You've got your faith, like obviously family and stuff that keeps the support there and each other. Um, but hard conversations are another brick. Like anything you can do to serve them,
Yeah,
that's a brick
it's
that
kind of like what
supports this
what I
thing that
said,
is a relationship.
communication.
Yeah.
And I guess actually you're adding another nuance to it that's important. It's not just conversation about anything,
Mm-hmm.
but having conversations that are important
Yeah.
and talking about things that matter, and not just letting. I think it's easy for things to build up, right? If you
Mm-hmm.
don't talk about things,
Right.
and like people keep score sometimes and other stuff, and it's
Mm-hmm.
important to to talk.
Right. I think sometimes the thing you don't want to talk about is the exact thing that needs to be talked about in that
Very well
moment
said.
for the relationship to keep going.
Yep,
And that's the same
absolutely.
with life. Like if the thing that you are scared of doing or nervous to do, that's probably the steps that you need to take. Like doing a
Yeah, where you're
podcast
just
with an
like,
hour notice, that's scary and nerve wracking, but that's probably what you should go do.
yeah,
You know, it's the same with a relationship.
yeah, yeah. Oh, dude, I'm so happy for you, man. That's
It's been
very
great.
exciting too that you
Yeah,
get to
it's
visit.
my first real relationship, so having it all kind of culminate in that
Yeah,
and be able to, um, try to be a godly man in that relationship is has been really good.
yeah.
I'm blessed.
That'll be a cool trip and meet her family, and
Yeah, I'm
that's
excited.
awesome.
It's like I've known
This will be
half
your
of her.
first time meeting her family.
I've met everybody but her father, and
Okay.
and he's been there the whole time. Met her mom and her siblings, thankfully, and they're all amazing people.
Do they all live in the Dominican Republic?
Yeah, her siblings, her one sister lives in Charlotte.
Wow.
She has another sister that goes to school in Charlotte, and then her. So she's just on her own here.
Okay.
But yeah, it's gonna be great. I feel like I know half of her. Like I feel like I know her very well, but like once I go see where she's from, that's gonna be like unlocking a whole different version of
Yeah.
somebody. Like where
I'm
they're
sure
from, who are
she's
their
very
friends.
excited
Oh yeah,
to share that with you too. That's awesome.
hopefully.
So is she still in school or is
Yeah,
she
she's got one more semester at
okay?
Knoxville.
What's the plan after that?
We'll see. God's got a plan. I certainly know what my plan would be to have her here, but we'll see what doors are open.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
It's like white knuckling life, man. We're not gonna. There's steps you can do, and like trying to make stuff happen. But at the end of the day, there's just some doors that you're not gonna open with your own strength. You need somebody else,
yeah.
and that's my faith.
Yeah.
So
It'll all work out, man. That's exciting
I
though. I'm
hope.
very happy. That's gonna be a really cool trip.
hmm I'm looking forward to it. I've been swiping on Duolingo, trying to do my thing. It's gonna be
Hola,
the most. It's so
me llamo Jordan.
I'll learn like a new saying and I'll say it to her, and she's like, "Oh, we don't say it like that.
You're like,
That's not how we."
I'm trying.
Yeah. It's like, okay, so I just learned something new for nothing, I guess.
Uh-huh.
But yeah, what is? Let's see. I'm gonna ask a question I've asked some people. If you were to put your brain on a pie chart, what are the big sectors of your brain that you're knowledgeable about or like fascinated with? We kind of covered the
Yeah,
fascination, but what
it's a
if
cool
you're like your
question.
knowledge on a pie chart? What would be some of the big pies there?
There'd be a huge chunk of just like random song lyrics.
Yeah,
And like
probably. We
just...
probably got a little bit of junk in there, don't
I
we?
mean, the psychology, which is a broad term, but that's always been fascinating to me. And I read a lot of psychology books, and I really like nonfiction books. So I think that would be a pretty significant
Do
chunk.
you like it for what it shows you about yourself or what you see in others' psychology? Like, are you
Probably a little bit of both.
you know what I mean though? Like when you're learning about psychology and
Yeah.
reading it, does it explain more about you to yourself, or is it about
I,
how
I
people live and how the world works?
I think it's a bit of both. Um, but I think obviously it is interesting when you're reading something that really connects and
Mm-hmm.
resonates with yourself and or someone close to you.
Mm-hmm.
But it's I feel like the more you learn about psychology, the more you realize how much we don't know about people and how
Yeah.
absolutely insane it is that we have the brains that we do, that which speaks to your point about how crazy things
It's
can be
wild.
and how just beyond our comprehension. But it really is like it's like the millions and millions of neurons we have firing, and like the fact that we have thoughts and feelings and can even think about these high level
Mm-hmm.
abstract concepts.
Mm-hmm.
And it's what else is wild is like we feel things and we know things and we're good at some things, but we're not. But what we're really bad at sometimes is even knowing why we feel the way we feel,
Mm-hmm.
let alone knowing how other people feel.
Mm.
And I think anyone who acts like, say you got a therapist who acts like they got it figured out and they know
Mm-hmm.
how to read people, they know exactly what people are. I think people are very ambiguous, and I think no one can tell you exactly why they think what they think or why they feel how they
Mm.
feel.
Yeah.
And I think it's so interesting because it's so
So
murky.
deep and
but we're so biased.
Yeah.
And it's not even that it's a bad thing. That's just how we're wired. I
Yeah.
mean, it can be a bad thing.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. I think the rabbit hole just never ends there.
Mm-hmm. Sorry to bring it back to it, but like when you were talking about the complexity of the brain, that for me pointed towards a creator. I don't know about you, but like
No, I
for the
can totally
when you're
see that
like if just
perspective. Yeah.
logically you're thinking about atoms, what about an atom assimilates into a brain that allows us to communicate with each other and understand the world and
Yeah.
perceive things?
Yeah. It's
Like,
wild.
does an atom have the intentionality to do that? Does matter itself have that, or is that a creative thing in the universe?
Yep. Goes
You know
back
what
to
that question means? Like, what I'm trying to ask?
yeah. You're
Or
like,
just get your
it's
brain
insane
going?
if that just exists.
Yeah,
Like,
that's
and if
insane.
so, why does it just exist?
Why? Why are we
Yeah.
experiencing life? Why are we here?
Yeah.
Why am I talking to you right now?
Yeah.
You know,
No,
it's absurd.
yeah, like beyond my, I totally get what you're saying. I'm
Hmm.
like processing it because it's
It's
beyond
wild.
my comprehension.
Yeah, dude.
But what would your brain look like in this pie chart scenario?
Oh my gosh, I'm probably trying to figure it out every day, but um, I love cars, so cars is on there.
What's your dream? You gotta have a dream car.
Yeah,
I know you do.
we can get to that. It's definitely a Porsche though.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
because
I
that was like
figured.
my life. But love cars. I love finance and kind of like businessy stuff. I would say that for me it's a big chart, but for other people's charts it's kind of like a little sliver. You
Yeah,
know, it's like
yeah.
you only know what you know. But um, I'd say like some of my faith is on there. Kind of like what scripture says, even though I don't feel like I could recite scripture.
What's
I
your bracelet? What scripture is that?
Here we go. We got John 3:30, and it is, he must become greater, I must become less. So it's like dying of yourself and accepting Christ. Some other people would
That's cool. The
probably,
bracelet does it like it summarizes it
he is
basically.
greater than I.
Yeah.
So that's kind of like humility. And then right here we have my brother's company, Vessel Training Company. And the verse that goes along with that is 1 Corinthians 6:19. It's our bodies aren't our own. We were paid for with a price. And what that means for us is that we must honor and glorify God in the things we do, say, and how we treat people. And that was like this hat here. That's his brand. We do fitness events with each other.
So
With
do
the
you also work
community with
him
them.
for this?
I don't really do any of the creative stuff.
Gotcha.
My brother and his partner Graham
What
kind
is
of
the
lead that.
company?
Vessel Training.
Like what do they do exactly?
I can show you all the stuff, but they make merch and they put on an event each month, which is like a workout or some like a run.
Oh yeah.
Somebody will come in and lead it, or we'll lead it ourselves. They'll do High Rocks events here in Nashville.
Yeah, I've heard of those.
And
They did one at the factory. I
really,
went to get food or something. Maybe it wasn't that
I don't
event
think it was
exactly,
them.
but it was
Maybe
something. It was something where people were
you
doing
were
one of those
grinding. Yeah.
competitions. Yeah.
So it's faith based. So we'll have like a worship or something there alongside it, and definitely spiritually led, trying to get a spiritual community in Nashville that also cares about their fitness and, you know, all that stuff.
All the F's.
Yeah, it'd be cool to have him on. I need to
Yeah,
send
I'd
this
love to have
over
him
to
on.
him.
How old is he?
31. Just
Oh
turned
wow.
31. So we got a
Okay.
good age gap,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
I got to learn from some wise people in my life.
Yeah,
They're all
I'd love
older
to
than
have
me.
him on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That would be really cool. So that's the two bracelets there. I forget what we were talking about before, but
Your pie chart.
yeah.
What that
So
would
it's
look like.
not, yeah, my faith pie chart is not as much knowledge of the scripture. I think some of it is just kind of what I've known to be true in my relationship with Christ, if that makes sense. But trying to grow that pie chart, and shrink the ones that are of this world, you know, like the things I care about that are kind of meaningless.
Yeah, I think we all have those things. I think that's not to cut you off, but that has been something on my mind. Like I feel like I need to simplify my life a little bit, if that makes sense. And I think I've just been trying to do so much. I'm almost like scattering my attention, and I think I need
Yeah,
to
we all do it.
slow down and try to just prioritize a few things that are meaningful for me instead of trying to do everything.
What would that look like?
I think it would look like, one, I feel like physically I have too much stuff. Like I kind of want to go through my stuff and get rid of stuff, like clothes, other stuff. I just feel like I have a lot of things,
Yeah, me too.
that don't necessarily matter.
It could be our New Year's resolution.
Yeah, that take away some attention. I think even digitally, like too, I feel like I just have random apps on my phone, like my camera roll's a mess,
Dude, yeah.
like just organizing that, and I think that would make me feel better. And then kind of sitting down, and I want to do, I mean, this 30 days has been a sprint, so I want to reframe how I'm doing this. I want it to be more.
Do you like the pace? Or is it way too much?
It's a challenge, and I can sustain it for a month. It would be way too much, obviously, to keep up. But I want to reframe that a bit and have it more just support what I want to do. But I don't know. I think this has been keeping me busy. Work's been extra busy, and I think I haven't been able to give as much time to my relationships.
Dude, I'm the same way. So that hits home.
And then I also think I need to be better about just giving my full attention when I am with people, and obviously it's so easy to be distracted. So that's
there's a book called Deep Listening. I read like the first 2 chapters. I'm working through it, but it's kind of going to that. Like,
is it kind of what the title sounds like?
Yeah, just like listening to somebody intently, and what comes from that is beautiful. But we're so distracted. Everything is grabbing at our attention, and I fall victim to it every day. And I just find myself, I'm like, what am I doing? I just sat on my phone for 5-10 minutes doing nothing.
20-30.
Like, what am I looking for on here? You know, you're just
and then I think there also is what I struggle with sometimes, and that weird, like it feels really good when you're really focused on a task at hand. Like I'm sure you feel this if you're working on a car and you're just kind of focused and you know what you're doing. Like that's a good feeling, and you're working hard. Or me, I'm working a case, I'm talking with a family, I'm engaged. That feels good. I'm getting stuff done. And then it also feels good when you're fully relaxed. Like, you have nothing to do. You can just relax and take your time. I feel like sometimes I'm in this weird space where it's like, I know I have stuff to do, and I feel like I should be productive, but I'm kind of being half productive. Like I'm also trying to relax, and then it's just like
you're in the middle ground. Yeah, and it's not good for both.
Exactly.
You're not rested and you're not productive.
Yeah, I feel like
that's so true.
I think I need to do, and I don't know exactly what this would look like, but almost set some boundaries or better boundaries, even just for myself. Even if it's like, all right, I'm gonna walk for 15 minutes after work, and just by the time I get back, like no more thinking about work. And I have a very
I think we should brainstorm that together, because that's something that I need to do as well.
Setting. Yeah.
I'm kind of like halfway on both.
Yeah, and then
I use the excuse of relaxation to take away from what I should be doing with my loved ones. I feel like people that are dialed in on their faith, fitness, all that, come back home after working a 10-hour shift or whatever, and you're not there for the people that matter, and you're not there for the people that you love. And it's important to prioritize those things, you know?
Yeah, and I think I think also part of it, like you're saying, like sometimes I'll find myself on my phone and I'm just distracted and doing nothing when I should be doing something. Like trying to minimize that, but if I am really just relaxing, like saying it's okay to relax or be on my phone, or if my goal is to spend time with someone, put my phone away and spend time with them. Like be in that space where it's okay to either be doing nothing, or if you're wanting to do something, do something.
Focus.
But
where do you feel the flow state? What do you do that's like has your full attention and you're just locked in?
I mean, these conversations, honestly, work-wise, I feel like there's times where I'm working a case, and sometimes things are busy, but sometimes I have conversations and I'm just locked in. Like I know what I need to do. I feel like I'm solving a problem. But then also with my job, there just comes a lot of administrative and shallow stuff that I feel like just scatters my attention sometimes, which I don't like as much.
Yeah.
But what about you? What gets you
like I can think of moments where I'm like, this has got my full attention. And I think one thing, I did jujitsu for 2.5 years when I was in Knoxville.
That's awesome. That's
what I do love about it. It tears up your body, especially as a white belt. Everybody's just ripping at each other, trying to like muscle as much as they can. But you're really confronted with being like working with your hands and having an immediate outcome. So you make a decision, there's an immediate outcome. It's not like with work, you screw something up and you might not know about it for another month. Like it's right there, right then, and you're in your flow state and you're engulfed in it. So I love that about jiu-jitsu.
That's a really cool way to put it. Yeah.
I felt the same thing doing like go-karts or stuff like that. I'm just locked in,
Yeah.
I don't know what that means.
I guess I maybe feel that way when I go on a run too.
Yeah.
Like you just get in this like kind of steady state, and it feels good.
Yeah, I think we all miss that, chase it. I feel like people find it in everything. All the people that are super successful, they find it in what they're doing. You know what I mean? Like
And I think part of it too is it's not like it's just natural. Like you got to make space for it, and you got to be passionate about whatever it is you're doing. Yeah. But I see that doing some sort of MMA that's also been an idea floating back here that I'll have to do at some point. But I can totally see that. Like you can't be distracted. You think if you're distracted, it's like you're getting punished instantly, like you're saying.
You hear people talk.
Forces you to be super attentive. And that's a cool feeling. I can see how
that's why people like it.
Yeah.
That's why I like it. Yeah, that's one of them. Or those are some examples. But I think we all need to find that thing and have it daily if you can. Doesn't have to be your job.
Yeah. I think I just have almost too many things.
You're spreading thin on them?
Yeah.
Yeah. I do the same thing.
Which I think I can still do all the things I want to do. I think I just need to tone back. I mean, obviously once I'm not doing a podcast every day, that'll help a bit on that end. And it's I feel like I can make excuses, and I'm not. I was about to, but I'm not going to. But yeah,
I never know if I'm just not the guy. I'm not the man that can live up to all these different things, or if I just have too many things that I'm pouring into.
Yeah. And I'm like, do I just need a better system, or am I like, do I need to reduce? I don't know.
We probably all need to reduce. In this day and age, we probably all need to reduce.
Well, I did actually go through my room a bit today and got rid of at least 2 trash bags worth of stuff and clothes.
Yeah, I've been thinking about it more mentally, but it makes sense to do it physically first.
Yeah, I think that
free
ties
yourself
in,
of that.
Right? Like when you have, a messy desk, it messes with you. Like having a clean space, it's, at least for me, psychologically, it feels
changes
nice.
You.
Yeah.
Yes. I know how I feel when I come back to a made bed and when I come back to a messy room. There's a difference.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So that's something we need to work on for sure.
Well, did we just solve all
the
problems?
Not even close, but we're probably one step closer and a little bit better.
Trying here at the Average Joe podcast. Yeah. Well, any other topics you'd like to cover?
Let's think.
How long do you think we've been talking? I know you got a
hour 30.
Yeah, hour 32.
Let's go on the money. Got an internal clock. No, yeah, I would say it's good to dive into the deeper questions that you have about whether it be your faith or whatever. Just search and ask, seek and find.
How do I do that?
I'm not the guy to be talking about this. But I
didn't mean that like this.
No.
I'm like, search and ask sounds great,
right.
But where am I searching and who or what am I asking?
I would start with wrestling with yourself to determine if there is a creator that created you. And if so, can you have a relationship with that creator? And I say yes, through Christ. And you can
go from there.
But I would go back to the start.
I get what you're saying.
I'd go to the start and determine. That's the big question.
That is the starting point, because if you have to decide that before
taking
whatever
the next step.
Path you go.
Yep.
That's the foundation of all of it. So,
and then
I do have a lot to wrestle with there.
Yeah, maybe that's something to look into.
Yeah,
I don't know.
No, Jordan, I appreciate the great questions and insights, and
dude,
you've got me thinking on this.
We could have done this for 5 hours.
Yeah. Well, I'd love to.
Can I run to the bathroom real quick?
Yeah, of course.
Or does it keep rolling?
It would keep rolling. I'm fine talking. I was going to say, I do got to run to a dinner semi-soon.
Let's go.
But I would love to have you back on the podcast.
Sounds good with me, man.
This does not have to
I need to come back with James or with somebody.
Yeah.
Like, we'll talk about stories and stuff.
Dude, we can do. So I did one with Jack and Maddie, and I turned up the sound a bit. And we can put the microphone in between you all.
Okay.
And we could do 3 people. That would be fun.
Dude, yeah.
But yeah, I'd love to have you back. I'd love to have your brother. Some version of you and James. And
reach out to Cruz right down here. He's your neighbor. It'd be a great conversation.
That too. Yeah.
For sure.
Do you know if he's back home?
Yeah.
I'm not even sure. Oh.
I just saw his truck out there. Well, so maybe you could knock out 2 today.
True. I'll be and then the one tomorrow, I'll be done.
There you go.
I'll be 30.
Dang. Congrats on everything you're doing, man. This is really cool.
No, I appreciate it, brother. Well, anything else you want to wrap up before we?
No. Thank you for watching.
Well, great to meet you, sir. Thank you guys for watching.
Nice to meet you, Joe.
Average Joe podcast. This is day 28, 30 podcasts in 30 days. Thank you, Jordan. Peace out.